Hi, I'm Shelly with Gilbert Marketplace, and today I wanted to jump on and show you a couple quick DIYs. We're actually going to be doing 5 DIYs I just recently picked up at the Dollar Tree, so all these can be purchased there. It just basically upscaling and making a few new things. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to use make these cute farmhouse beads. And they're kind of like a rustic in the materials we use. These are the brand new lanterns. They are super cute. They light up, and basically we just are gonna do, those are great for your trays. This cute triangle made into a Christmas tree, another cute little project. And we're just gonna show you how we upscaled the little gnome. And those are going to be our 5 DIYs. So we're going to get started. And decorating your home for the holidays doesn't have to be expensive. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. Now these, I recommend that you get, they are garland, and they're wood bead garland. This is a great way to have wood beads at a very inexpensive price. And these I did get at a local dollar store. You may not all have those in your area, but they sell things for a little bit more. You can see these were only a couple bucks. You can get these cute little tags, so you don't have to write it. If you don't have a Cricut or anything like that, they're already pre-made, and you can get those at Walmart. I used one of them for one of our other projects. You can pick up these wood tree stems, and those you can pick up at the Dollar Tree. And if you're lucky in an area that has a tree, you don't even have to purchase these, but we're in Arizona, so we don't have too many trees. You'll be to pick up a package of these 3 needles, and you can purchase those also at Walmart. So let's get started. You'll also need a drill to do this project. So what I did is I took my wood logs, and I did cut them a little in half. I wanted them to be a little bit, smaller. And then what we'll do is we'll use the twine that you can also purchase many different places, but I did pick this up at the Dollar Tree. And you'll just pull some of that out. Looks like we got 2 ends going, and this one looks to be going real smooth. So you'll want to pull out a decent amount for your beads. Give yourself a little extra and just cut that, and then you will grab your needle, and we'll get this threaded. As I get older, it's a little harder on my eyes. I used to be to get these right in, give it a second or two, but that's why I recommend you get these big, huge needles, because the eyelet on them is very large. So you shouldn't have, too big. Oh man, too much trouble like I am. Just try to get it as much as you can in there, and then you can kind of pull. Yeah, and if you don't get enough in there, let's start at the other end and see if that's a little bit better. Because if you don't get enough in there and then half the twine untwines, and you'll have some difficulties. Oh Lord. Okay. This is not good. I don't know what the heck. Usually I use the other one that comes in the 3-pack, so this might be a little bit thicker. I think we got it this time. There we go. That took a minute. Okay. So we will put a knot on the other end just so that we don't go past, and we'll push them out, but I probably won't go that far anyway. But what you want to do is cut these in half. Then you'll use your drill bit, and you'll just pick it up and you'll drill right through the center. You'll make a hole in every single one. That will give you as a bead. Now, as for the beads I bought, what I do is I just cut the end, obviously, and we're going to see those start flying. But you'll then use the beads off of here. So you can just use any pattern or make as many as you want. Okay, let me grab a couple of these. All right, so what I began by doing is I started with my pattern of 2 and then a piece of wood. And I did try to pick my smallest ones first, but there's real no rhyme or reason. And then you're going to put 2 red, and it goes pretty quick, and a log, and 2 red, and a log. And I don't have any, particular, people ask me what size to make them. You can make them as long as you want or as short as you want. You could use this as garland and hang it over your mantle and make it, really long. But honestly, I don't really care for my beads to be too long because I feel like it's harder to tuck them and decorate with them. A little amount, goes a long way. And honestly, if you're putting them in the tray, you don't want them too huge. So a log. Let me see, I'm trying to get the colors I like here in order. But it's just kind of a fun little decoration. You can do so many things with these. There's all kinds of things you can do with them. Use them in your tray, just hang them in front of your decorations. Just lots of different things. Like I said, you can make them as garland. You could even string them and put them in your tree if you wanted long enough ones. So these are pretty versatile. You can see we'll just get a few more on there. It's a really nice rustic, and you can hang whatever you want off of them. I did a couple tassels, but you could do a wood tree. You could, do whatever you like. You could make a tag with your name on it. But I found those little tags at Walmart, and they are super cute. And like I said, all my DIYs are fast and easy projects. I feel like nobody has time for hours of doing crafts. So if you can just make a few inexpensive crafts for your holiday to decorate, they look great and it's nice and simple. I'm thinking this is probably a good amount. So we're gonna just put those on there. Okay, so let me show you what I did next. Okay, so that'll be good like that. You're going to need a piece of cardboard or a piece of wood or something to, make a good old pom-pom. So what I do is I just start with a piece. Like I said, you can use cardboard, you can use whatever. I just happen to have this sign here. And you're just going to go around here. I do about 20 to 25 times. Obviously, the longer you make your cardboard or your piece that you use, then the longer your tassel will be. Also, sometimes because this is so wound up tight, I have to iron it when I'm done. But this one doesn't look too bad. If you're going to hold it like that, you can grab your scissors and you're going to cut it at the bottom so that it will hang. And then I grab another piece and I'm just going to loop it around my loop, and I'm going to tie that nice and taut. Okay, so now we have our loop, making sure that our ties are up. Then I'm going to push them together like that. I'm going to grab another piece and I'm going to go around it 2 times, and that's going to make our tassel. And if you leave this piece a little bit longer when you go around it, that's like that and like that, then when you cut it, it will be the same length as the tassels that hang. So we're just going to cut off a piece right there and we'll double knot it so it's nice and tight. Okay, so see, if I leave those longer, they kind of match. So that was a little long. And then you're just going to take your scissors and cut it through. So now you have a cute little tassel. Okay, so on the end with the needle, I just take and poke it right through here and bring that on. So that's going to be one of my loops. So basically it's like sewing. I'm going to come through that and I'm going to go back in through the bead, the last bead. So when I make my loop, it's actually going up inside that first bead. Okay, so I just kind of, like I said, poke it through here. And it will make your loop, and then you can put it through your last bead. Okay, after you get it through your bead, you can just pull that off, and you can just make a knot. So it will be the knot in between the first two beads. Just knot it right up there, real nice and tight. Okay, and then you can cut it. So now you have your tassel, and these I'm going to just tie again at the end just to make sure it's tied on there real tight and nothing falls off. And I'm going to cut those too, so we won't have a bunch of pieces sticking all out. So now you have your little tassel attached to your beads. Now you could stop at that and just make it one tassel, or you could add another. In this case, we're going to just add another one. So I'm going to take my same cardboard or sign, whatever you're using, and do the exact same thing. Put it at the end and go, like I said, about 20, 25 times around until you got it thick enough. You can do this with twine, you can do it with yarn, you can do it with all kinds of things. So whatever you want to do. And then make sure, like I said, you kind of leave it long enough so that it hangs. We'll slide it off. Keep our loop. We're going to use one of these pieces since I already have it cut. It might be too short. Yeah, why be frustrated? Let's just use some off here because I'm not going to need it that long. Okay, let's make sure that that's nice and straight. And we'll slide that through. Like I said, we'll tie this nice and tight, double knot. Okay, and then we will hold those down. We'll go 2 times around, leaving a little bit extra on the end. And this twine, some parts are thicker and some aren't, so let's give it 3 turns on this one, just because I happen to be on a real thin part of the twine. And we're going to knot that and double knot it again. Just like this. Okay. I'm going to cut that off right there. And we're going to cut our ends so you have your pom-pom. Like I said, see, sometimes it gets a little twisty like that. Then what I do is I just iron it so it's nice and flat. Because as you get on the curlier part of the ribbon, it just looks kind of sloppy. So I'll give it a good iron when I'm done. And in this case, I'm just, since I don't want to thread that needle, I'm just going to put it right through the loop here. Since I think I can get it, push it through. And we're going to pull all the beads nice and tight. Everyone see that? Nice and tight. And we are going to tie it right at the end. And we want to get that nice and tight so we don't have any space at the end. We're going to knot that. And we're going to give it another knot. Just so these don't fall off. You'll need to probably do a 3rd knot. We'll need it big enough so that the bead will not slip over it. So 3 knots on this side should probably do the trick. Now it's nice and tight. You can see we have a tassel and it's super cute. We're going to cut the extra string off there. I'm going to take one of these, and I think I'll just do the Joy of Christmas. And you can feed this right through. I think I would rather have the twine than the black. Well, let's see. Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to just cut the black one right off. So I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the twine. And I am simply going to push this aside. I'm going to just lay it tight. And I'm going to tie a nice bow, just like tying your shoe. And we're going to tie that right on the end. Tie it like that. Make a super nice bow. Cut the extra strand out, and there you go. You have cute farmhouse beads with a little bit of tag. And like I said, once we iron this down, it will stay nice and straight, and it won't look so sloppy. But look how cute those are. Nice, simple project. Doesn't take very long, and you have farmhouse beads. Okay, so for our next quick project, let me just put these needles away. I don't want to lose them. I use these a lot. They're really worth the $2. Okay, so we're going to, next to this cute little fun project, this is another really simple, easy DIY. You can buy these little pine cones. I did pick these up at the Dollar Tree. This is some Dollar Tree ribbon that says Believe. I did pick some up at Walmart that says Merry Christmas that you could also use. I had some little flowers and things that I also picked up at the Dollar Tree, more of the pine cones. And this cute little mop. Okay, so this is the mop, and you could use this for many things. In this case, we're going to use it for the fur around the mitten. I did buy this. I said this would be cute for the gnomes' beards if you need it or whatnot. So you want to remove your tag from your oven mitt. And you can determine if you want it to be a left hand or a right hand, however you want it to be. What we're going to do, we're just going to, see the back here, put the edge of this to the edge of that. And it's a little angled, so we're going to just take that. You want to keep this so that it's not glued down, and we're going to put that just on there, just like that. So this will be our front. And the reason why we want to keep that loop out is that will give us a great place to hang it. So just take your hot glue, put it along your edge of your fur here, mop, and push down on that. Just give it a good hold there. Give that a second. And then we're going to do the same on this side. Need another glue stick here. You can also pick those up at the dollar store. You can also use that Surebond. I haven't quite used that yet, but I think it's pretty strong stuff from what I heard, and you can use that. You might want to put your hand in and then just kind of push it so they meet nice and evenly on this second one. It won't matter. It's not going to go through because it's obviously very thick. Okay, so we have our little mitt. Okay, so this is just a cute little DIY that you can do and decorate it any way you want. So I love to buy these. I don't know if you guys use these. These are meant to hang like your garland and things like that up your staircase, but they're just pieces and they're like wired, and so you can bend it or do what you want. So in this case, I'm going to bend this one in half. And I'm going to put it so it's kind of sticking off the top. And I'm just going to glue that down to start with. I'm going to put a drop of glue where I want it. And I'm going to put that right down like that. And just be a little careful. It is a little hot on your fingers if you get it in there. And then I think I will cut another piece. The true designer is 3. Everything's in 3, no even numbers. So we're going to make this third piece in the middle. And we're just going to hold that down a second so these glue down. I think I'm going to use some of this. I just happen to have some of this little bit of glitter and a little bit of white. And I think I will put those down. You can use anything you want. You can use pine cones. You can make it look rustic. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So I'm going to put a couple of these spritz down here, just like I said, by using hot glue. We're just going to decorate it. I did get some of these berries, and they come on a big thing that you can get at the dollar store also. And I'm going to put those like that. And I think at this point, I'm going to put a bow, and let's see, I'll probably use a dark. Let's see, actually, I think I'm going to use the red for Believe since it's Santa's mitten. And what I do to make these, when you're making a bow and the bow has words on it, obviously you tried not to make them upside down. So in this case, we're just going to make loops. And we're just going to pinch it like this, and we're going to just do the next one and the next one. Just round and round. I'll probably do 3 also. And then when you come back around, we'll loop that so that they are not upside down. So that will come like that. We'll take that one that's just the way it is, and we will use some of this twine to tie it nice and tight in the middle. So let's just grab that, and I will hold this just like this and come around this side by pinching these, tie this. Sometimes you need a third finger, right? So I have my bow. I want to straighten that just a little bit more, and then pull it as tight as possible. Whoa. Pull it as tight as possible. And that will give us that. Now we have the one streamer here. And so I will cut the other one because I want the words not to be cut. Let's see here. Let's go real nice and tight. And then I will take and put the other one so that they will end up correct. And I'll just retie that right around the back again, just to have that in the right direction. Because if you looped it up like we normally do, it would end up upside down. So we're just going to re-knot that. And I think I'm going to just add that right on here. So I'm going to just get a little glue, making sure that it's not upside down and that this is turned correctly. And we're just going to hold that down just like that. Super cute on the white. It really sticks out nicely. And we will fill in that with probably a large pine cone. So I'm just going to use a little glue on that. And I'm going to just set that right down in there. You can do whatever you like. Like I said, you know, the sky's the limit. I might put one in a downward direction just because I think that will look super cute. Just like that. How fun is that, right? So it's looking so cute. Now, you could add a poinsettia in here. Yeah, kind of like that. I think I will add that. I'll just put a little glue on that. And I'm going to tuck that down in there. And then I think I'm going to use one of these cute little tags again. We got them. Maybe this dark one, just so it really pops nicely on the, and I am just going to slip this right over the pine cone. And then I will probably just put a tad bit of glue. But I'm going to put that just right around there so it is tied around there. And then I might just put a little more glue to hold it down. Just use a little more glue just to make sure it's down for good. And look how fast. We have another mitten that is just a cute little DIY that we can use. And you'll be able to hang this right up with that little hook on the inside, and you can hang it on your buffet or wherever you want. Super cute. Another quick tutorial, less than a couple bucks. So we're going to move on to our next project. Let's see. Like I said, I picked up these cute little light up lanterns, and I thought these would be adorable in our little tray. You know, some of us do the Rae Dunn trays and whatnot, so I thought that would be super cute. Basically, same concept. You can do whatever you like. Just by embellishing it, it takes something that looks inexpensive to expensive in just a few seconds. So I'm going to cut off like 3 little pieces of our greens, and I am just going to glue those on. I'm going to try to keep my hanging thing in case I did want to hang it. I don't think I'll be doing that, but I'm going to keep that in an upward position. And I'm going to put one going each way, and then the one, might want to text him, going right up the front. So that will give us like a 3, kind of like that. And then I think I'm going to do these in black and white, since most of my trays I do in black and white. So I'm going to make a really cute bow, and I'm just going to make that bow real quick because it is a tiny little space we're working with. So I'm going to glue that on and then work around with it in my pine cones. Let's see if that works. And if it doesn't, let's just put this right here. I'm going to put some greens on there. I'm also going to use, I think, a couple of these little pine cones. And I might just add a tad of red with that red poinsettia. I'm going to grab some really tiny ones here. I think I'm just going to embellish it with a little bit of red and these pine cones. So I think I like that look. I'm going to put this down first. You just got to play with it a little bit. You can just simply place it the way you think you want it. View it. If you don't like it, then you can fix it again. So we're going to put that little bow. Just love the little black and white checker. And I'm going to put my flower, little poinsettia, down, and I'm going to pull this bow. Well, I'm going to pull it right off, evidently. I'm going to, that's okay, because honestly, I don't want the poinsettia to be the main focal. So I'm going to put a little more glue on that. And we're going to put that right on top there. Okay, let's just hold those down. And then I'm going to just add a couple little pieces of pine cone to make it look woodsy and cover up that center of the bow. This is a super easy project. You can, like I said, embellish it any way you want. But sometimes if you see something and it doesn't look too expensive, you know, just think, what else could I add to it to make it look a little bit better? Sometimes by just adding just a little bit, it changes the whole look of it. I did pick up these cute little fun tags that are in the black and white. I just love them, and we are going to add one of those on. And I think I'm going to add this one with a little bit of red since I went with the red. So again, it has a black tag, rope, little hanging tag. I'm going to just slide it over the greenery. Just the one that's sticking out here on this side. I'm just going to hang it over there, and I'm going to pull it to the side. It has a cute little black and white ribbon also. So if these are too long, you can just bend them. That's the good thing because they're all wired. And we're going to just use a little bit of glue on the corner of the light. And I am going to hang it so it's sideways. How adorable is that, right? this little dollar thing with a few of your scraps that I'm sure you have around. It makes a super cute little decoration. All right, as for my other little gnome, we bought these little gnomes. Everyone, I'm sure they're trying to find them. I was in Tucson, I'm lucky enough to find some. And I just wanted to give it a little something extra. I think he's a little plain, and a couple little tricks. So you can brush their, mustache hair down, and then you kind of want to go right under his nose and twist it a little to give him a little bit of a beard. Okay, that will make him look a little bit more like a gnome. So that, you just kind of shape it up like that. That will help. I got these great little big bells. I think they're really big. I was like, how fun is that? And then we have some twine here again. Some essentials that you must have in your stash. That everything you can use as twine. And we're just going to tie it, truthfully. You could use a pin, a safety pin. You could actually sew it on. But I'm just going to use a little bit of twine, and I'm going to tie that bad boy right on there. And I'm hoping, because it is big, it's going to make his hat tip. And it sure has. I might even just tie this into a bow if I didn't make it too small. I think that would be super cute. You just go with the flow. Whatever you like, you do. That's the good thing about crafting. If you don't like it, undo it. Nothing is wrong or right. It's personal preference. So I got a little bell on him, and I'm going to make his hat fly to the side because that's the way I want it. And then I'm going to use a few of my scraps that we've been using, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller just because his hat, we don't want it over his whole head. I'm going to cut 3 back to my rule of thumb here. And I'm just going to put it off to the side, a little bit of greenery. I just think the little bit of embellishment will snazz him up just a little bit more. He will look a little bit better for not pennies on the dollar there. And since we used, ouch, it's a little hot, just push down on it. You might use those little rubber glovey things, and I'll just push down on that. I have some of these little silver berries. Since we have the silver hat, I'm just going to put a little collage of those right in the center. I'm not going to go crazy with these, but we're just going to put a little bit of something there. And just by adding a few little things, he just decorate him up and makes him look a little bit funner. Okay, so that's your little gnome. You could do many little extras, but that will help make him look a little spiffier. Okay, and our third project. Our 5th project. Let's move this all out of my way. So these trees come, they're a triangle, and they could be a shelf. They could be many things, but they kind of come in some ugly colors, some crazy patterns, but you could use them. I tried to find the plainest one so the colors won't show through. And they carry this fabric you could use, or you could use paper. And you can decorate it any way you want. I was going to use the fabric, but I think I might use this paper. And by doing that, we're going to turn it over, and I am going to take my point and just push down on it. Obviously, this is going to make it bigger than it's going to need to be because it is the back of it, and you'll be fitting it to the inside. But my theory is I'd rather have a little extra than not enough. So I'm going to just then cut on the fold of where I did it. All right, and that, the light. Okay, that will give you, hopefully, the triangle that you need. I see that this piece was a little short here, so we may need to paint the background a little black. If you can't get it perfect, that's okay. then, you'll just need to use a little bit of paint on the background. So what I did is I tried to take this and push it down in there to make sure that I have enough. It is a little bit tricky, but once you get it in there, and try not to wrinkle it too much, you'll be able to push it around your edges. Just like that. So it's a nice tight fit, okay? Then we'll need to pull that back out and we'll trim up the excess of where we need to do so. Like I said, you might have to play with this a couple times because better to be too big than too short. There's a little bit on this side, but you don't want it to be short where you can see through it. Okay, so I got pretty good fit there. And almost perfect, actually. So what I'm going to do then is just take my Mod Podge and Mod Podge it in there. Once you get it fitted in there, you'll have a hard time getting it back out without wrinkling it. Use a little butter knife, pop my paper back out. There we go. And just pour a little into your lid of your Mod Podge. Definitely don't want any greens or anything in there. You can pour it in there and then just put it on. I don't like to use a ton of this because you don't want your paper to wrinkle. I'm just going to pour some right in here, actually. Oh, geez. That is way too much. So we'll just scoop some of that back out. It is either coming or it's not coming at all. You know how that goes. All right. So we're just going to go around the edges, get in the point. Like I said, you don't want it to be super thick or runny. If you have a little extra, just wipe it off on your brush. Okay, get it in your points. And then you'll take your paper, and you don't have a lot. That's the rough part is you don't have a lot of play with this. Once you put it down, it kind of sticks and it's kind of down, So you can push it down with your brush to get it nice and tight on all the edges. And just kind of work it around so you don't have no air in there. There we go. So this is going to be a buffalo checker, obviously, tree. So that's super cute. And you could decorate it or embellish it with whatever you want. Now, I used one of the big wood stems. These stems that we bought from the Dollar Tree come in all different sizes. And this is just a big one. And I'm going to attach that with hot glue at the bottom. Now, you'll want to kind of play with this a little to make sure that it stands and it's level. So sometimes they're not cut like completely flat and straight, so you want to play with it. Like this is a little more low on this side, so I'm going to add a little more glue on there and just put a little on that side so hopefully it levels it out. Definitely center it so it's not tippy. And now you have a little tree. Now, I just wanted to add a little embellishments on there. Like I said, you could do paper, you could do greenery, you could do moss, you could put a deer in there. You could do so many things with it. But for me, I'm just going to do the same thing we've been doing on all these craft projects. We're just going to add some greenery to it. And by doing that, I am going to just put one way, and one way, and we'll see if they're too long. But I'm going to kind of put one long, one sticking out, and one coming out the front. Let me glue those in. Sorry about that. It's a little difficult to see. Okay, we're going to put this along the bottom. The other reason why this is good, if you put it along the bottom on the back, if your cut wasn't 100% perfect, you won't be to tell. So we'll add a little bit of glue right there, and I'll stick that one out. So you could put a star on the top. You could do, a bunch of different stuff. But I am going to, since this one is black and white, I think I'm going to use this little poinsettia here. But I think I'm going to make a bow. And this, again, has writing on it, so you need to pay attention to where you put it. So we're going to start on this side, make our loop, and come around. I'll have to start down a little further. And when you make your turn, you'll twist, pull it up, and pull this through so that all the writing will stay in one direction. And we're going to just see if this bow will work like that. Okay, so you have that, and we are going to cut that with the tail. It's a little uneven, and I wanted it that way. Let's see if I can kind of set it in there. I'm going to kind of push it in the corner and glue that in. So I'm going to put a little glue and set that right in there. And that honestly is just super cute, just like that. But I think to cover up my knot in the middle, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there again and put this poinsettia right down there. I think the black and white is super cute. This way you can use it for anything. It's very versatile. I need a little bit more glue. I'm on glue sticks here. Let me just go with a little bit more. And you know what? I think it is super cute just like that, and that's the way I'm going to leave it. So again, I'm going to do a little recap of all the different decorations and that you can do that are inexpensive. So we made this tree out of the Dollar Tree triangles with your wood stems that you can also purchase there. You can embellish it any way you want. I did this one with Santa. You can see they would work together. You could make a collage of little trees on your buffet. We made this cute little lantern that does light up with the little tag. And that one is in the whites, and I did this one in the reds. So you could keep them for whatever you want to do for decoration. We made the cute wood beads with the little tags that you can purchase at Walmart. And those you can simply add to your tray. You can use them anywhere you want. Those are super cute also. And you can hang your mitt. We also did a little embellishment on our gnomes. Those are super popular. You can do one hat up, you can do one hat down, you can do it any way you'd like it, and it just makes it fun. These are all great holiday decor items that you can make for your mailman, teacher, or something that you just need a little inexpensive gift. Again, it's Shelly with Gilbert Marketplace, and I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. If you did, you can push the subscribe button, push the bell, and it will notify you next time I do a tutorial. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.